So what I saw was Travis Yost. He's like, okay, the fact that people think the Tampa Bay Lightning would put their 2 years ago MVP on LTIR just to be cap compliant proves how badly we need hockey. I think all it proves is the heinous shit so many players play through that if it makes sense for them, they can just pull it out of a hat, shut it down, and get surgery or whatever they need. You know what I mean? Like also, Evander Kane a few years ago was perfectly happy to play the rest of the season. And then Dustin Byfuglien throws his tracksuit in the shower and he goes, you know what? This shoulder, I got to get it fixed. Fuck you guys. And so he goes and he gets it fixed.
They're always in a perpetual state of, hey, maybe I could get surgery on this.
Henrik Lundqvist had a heart condition most of his career. It just came out. But it no longer makes sense for him to play. So
in a lot of cases, too, surgery is the option that will come back and bite you later. Like it could be a 6-month recovery with a surgery, but an 18-month if you rehabbed it. But overall, in the long term, rehabbing it would be better.
That's why McDavid rehabbed.
That was the whole Sportsnet feature. It was fantastic.
So it's interesting with that.
What a mutant! Like that's a crazy story.
Yeah, that's why it makes me laugh when, like, parents, there's some rich parents in Toronto. I'm not sure if you know that, and they'll take their kids and they'll put them in like training programs at like 8 years old. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about skill development. I'm talking about weight training, and which an 8-year-old shouldn't be doing. But what's funny about it is that the hope is that, they'll make the NHL, blah, blah, blah. The kids that are going to make the NHL, pretty much you almost know already. Like it's not, and I know there are some late bloomers and stuff like that, but as well as I do, look at Erik Karlsson, built different with that Achilles injury way back.
Well, and he just healed up. I mean, there's been some long-term effects, but the speed at which he recovered. Stamkos's bones. He just mended. He was in a walking boot in like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. A femur. Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
Oh, that was a different break. He broke a lot of stuff.
He's had some.
By the way, I want to quickly mention this. And this is not going to make me popular, but here we go. Can we pump the brakes on the Montreal Canadiens or a Stanley Cup contender?
Oh, that's what you were
Can we pump the brakes on that? So now, to be fair to NBC, they put together 6 cool matchups that would be great because these teams would never play each other in the finals because they're in the same conference. Fair. And the last matchup was Montreal-Boston, which from an original 6 perspective, I get. But what the hell are you talking about? Listen, Montreal had 4 really good games against the Penguins, right? Really good games. And then had a pretty good, I think it was Philly in the first round.
Yeah, 6-game series. They played them real tight.
Real tight, like really good, really, really good. And they've made some great additions this year, I think. I mean, I think especially the Toffoli one. Well, I don't think we talk enough about Tyler Toffoli and what he's going to do for them.
And the young guys getting older.
Josh Anderson is also big, although that was a hell of an injury, but we'll see. And it's a hell of a contract. But can we just wait until we see them play before we go lumping them in? And you could say, well, we should do that with the Leafs too. You're absolutely right. The Leafs have earned nothing and done nothing. They didn't even make the playoffs.
Well, I would agree
with that assertion. But let's not pretend that 23rd place Montreal is all of a sudden in the conversation for a Stanley Cup just yet.
Well, yeah, a few years ago you gave the Leafs the title. Yeah, and look how it worked out. It didn't.
It didn't work out too well. We've learned. and my point in all of this is Montreal could be a much better team and should be a much better team. But you saw...
I have them in the playoffs.
I have them in the playoffs too, but you saw what Dallas and Tampa were doing. Yeah. You saw what Vegas has done. Do you put them in that category? Not yet. No. Not yet. Those teams are, and with the exception, Dallas is in and out, but perennially top teams in the NHL. It's tough to get there. And I just think it's a little much to think Montreal all of a sudden magically is going to be Stanley Cup Finals. I could be wrong. Could be eating my words. I'm happy to do so.
Canadian division is going to be so good, man.
It's going to be sick. It's going to be
so good.
But let's maybe wait and see if the team gels.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't wait.
That's fair.
I really can't wait. It's going to be the next 4 months in this country are going to be war.
It's fun.
It's just going to be, fun war.
And we get to see Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl 10 times. How great is that?
Oh, I mean, Freddie Anderson might not agree, but like, I think it's pretty great.
It's great.
Awesome. I was saying this, so I was a guest on the Wing Wheel podcast yesterday.
Who are they? Bunch of losers.
Some dicks.
Love those guys.
Talk about the Red Wings all the time. But I was talking about the Canadian division and having to play these teams so many times. And it's going to force the Leafs to get good at something that they've struggled with, which is seeing the same teams in a series, right? It's going to build rivalries. It's going to build nastiness. I think these are going to be competitive, physical games. And, you might go, well, why is that good for them? They struggle at it. No. They're either going to get good at it or fail anyway.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'd rather them, if they fail at it, just go ahead and miss the playoffs and don't waste our time.
And let's be honest here. Wayne Simmons is going to war, and I like it.
Wayne Simmons is going to war. Joe Thornton.
Leafs.
No, I don't want.
No, but Wayne Simmons is going to war. It's Wayne.
Oh, I know.
Bogosian will be fun too, but Wayne Simmons. Come on.
No, it's Wayne Simmons' job is not to fight for everybody.
No,
it's to drag everybody into the fight.
Well, it's also to get the other team to commit to one.
That too.
Right? To like get them off their feet. Like what Leo Komarov used to do. A little poke here, a little slash there. Other player retaliates, they get the penalty. We don't have a player that does that. Not one player.
The Last Dance, they were talking about Scottie Pippen.
Yep.
And like, just listen. Just fight. Just we'll be there with you. Just fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's what the leadership group on this team has to do. Kiprio, was it on this show or on his own show where, because I was talking about guys on the Leafs I would love to see just throw a punch once to stick up for themselves, Mitch, Austin.
I think that was his show.
He said, you know who I'd love to see? John Tavares.
Wow.
It's never even occurred to me. But if Tavares just one day threw off his gloves, who is sitting, forget who's not watching, who's sitting through that? I'm standing up and pressing my face to the television like it's a toy store before Christmas.
Even Mats used to do that. Mats used to do that. He'd get people in a headlock. That was always
just every now and then. You know why? Because Mats was 6'5" and doesn't need to take your shit. I want to see JT do it just once. Crosby buys himself room once every like 2 seasons. You know what I mean? And it'll be a weird fight. Like, I'm fighting Matt Niskanen. And you go, what? Cool. Like, go look at Sidney Crosby's fight card. It's all weird names, but there are names on it. You got to put some names on it.
Okay. Love that. Now let's do the press conference.
Sorry.
One more thing. We also have to shout out the NWHL.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have that news there, Adam?
Big television deal with the NWHL. They're getting NBC in the States, CBC in Canada.
That's awesome.
Fully broadcast, which is awesome. Great news.
Yeah. That's February 4th and 5th for the Isabel Cup.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be sick. That's going to be awesome. I got to stop talking about Digit Murphy and get her on.
Yep. Would love that.